Good evening, sports fans. Crowbat for the win here today, and since I have last uploaded, the world's kind of blown up. Oh, and this happened. Yeah, a Pokemon Diamond and Pearl beta or prototype was leaked to the public, and there will not be anything about that in this video, but other than that screenshot. It was pretty horrifying. The sprites are horrifying. It is a disaster, but it did make a really great game in the end. So anyway, I got a Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle. This is technically the PCL Week 2 against my good pal Daley26. His link will be in the description below. So this is a draft format game, and I didn't really talk too much about the PCL. I'm just doing it more for fun, but I really liked this game. I thought it was fun. We did good. I am packing a SWOBAT, which is a Solak Nasty Plot set. I got a Mudsdale, just a defensive one, a defensive Dumbo, aka a shiny Corviknight. If I could say that right, that would be nice. I've got a Rotom with specs. I've got a weakness policy, Gigantamax, Lapras, and a Lumberry Hydreigon, just for general support and whatnot. So my opponent's got a Hitmonlee, a Skirmory, an Unfezant, which is kind of interesting, a Gengar, a Rotom Heat, and a Chansey. We get quite a game here. I really love the graphics in this game. I really want to try to figure out the chess timer, because I feel like, well, right now I'm playing just a little bit more casually. I'm actually pretty busy in life. I'm actually starting a new job. I'm going back to school. I've got a lot going on. It's been really busy, and that's one of the reasons that I've been away a little bit. But I'm just happy to be getting this up now for sure. I just love the graphics in this game. It is fantastic. If only they fixed the timer issues and didn't make the chess timer thing so locked away. I'll have to keep experimenting with that and see what we can do, but we are on to turn 1, and we have a Mudsdale versus Unfezant matchup, which is really good for me, for sure. The worst thing he can do, and I know this, is Hypnosis, which, not great, of course, but it's 60 accuracy. What's the worst thing that can happen there? He's probably not even going to hit it. 60 is really like 5% accuracy in my book. I can get up my rocks for free nice and early. He sets up a U-turn, and that's totally fine. If I get my stamina boost, that's great too, which I do, of course. I know he'll probably go into something that'll force me to switch out anyway, so it probably won't come into effect, but never a bad thing. It's really interesting getting to see Unfezant in this format. I don't think I've ever, in my copious years of playing Pokemon, which has been about 13, 14 years for me. Granted, not all of that time Unfezant existed. It did not, right? So, but still, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it once. Here's Skirmory. Not the worst thing in the world, because I prepped for this right here, where I'm going to go for a Rock and Smackdown. That Skirmory is going to be smacked down into next year, because we're going to hit it with an Earthquake next turn, and we will be ready. But no, unfortunately, he goes for the Whirlwind. Not the worst thing in the world. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. It sends us into Corviknight. Not completely horrible. Not great, but you know what? At least we can get some U-turn momentum. He may be able to defog, but we could go right back out into our good pal Mudsdale and Stealth Rock again. Frankly, it could be a lot worse. So this is a good position to be in. Skirmory can't touch us in any way. It can't touch anything. Yeah, as expected, just goes for that defog. All good. It's all good, man. We just gotta chill out in life. The last few months certainly have been something, so just gotta chill. We don't want to get too overwhelmed or too upset over a lot of, especially not a game. It's just not worth it. So I'm, like I said, playing more casually, playing for fun here, which playing some fun games, having some fun building with some friends, building these teams together. It's been really good. I'm having a good time. So we got Rotom in here. Rotom is going to go for that big Volt Switch. He has, if I recall, no ground types whatsoever. So this is the freest Volt Switch, a very high-powered one, mind you, because it's Choice Scarf boosted. Choice Specs boosted. It's the freest Volt Switch probably of my life. So he's going to switch into Doc. Doc is Chansey. That's fine. It's not going to do a ton, obviously. Chansey is a special behemoth. Yeah, I mean, that did maybe 15% damage, let's just say, on a very quick analysis. I gotta decide what to do next. I know that I have some difficulty beating Chansey without my Hydreigon and Superpower, because I didn't exactly have any fighting types on this team. If you looked at the team preview that I put up, I put up my roster was on top. If you have to skip back, go ahead, but I didn't have any fighting types. I didn't draft any fighting types, so that's maybe a shortcoming of my draft, but we don't run into too many cases where it's a big deal, but this is kind of a big deal here. So I have the Lumberry. I know for a 130% fact chance he cannot touch me without Seismic Toss, or Toxic, or Thunder Wave. So that's why I packed the Lumberry. And I know there is a very high chance that at +1 Superpower with some chip damage will be able to KO Chansey. Now here's the Toxic. That's fine. That's actually probably preferred because Toxic obviously is slow and it just racks up, whereas Thunder Wave will slow me down. That would be really bad. So I do get my Dragon Dance up. I'm fast. I have more attack. I can go for the Superpower freely if I want, I think now. I also have Belch, by the way, which was for one of his fairy types. I think it was Primarina, if I pronounced that right. You know how I always am with Mon pronunciationitis. And also, never forget Monkey Business. That was a great ability. Great ability for Darmanitan, Alola form. Or no, it's a Galarian form. Yeah, you know what? I'm very out of form. That's definitely the case. I'm just having fun. We get another Toxic to the face. So this Toxic Sludge, how can this super cute Chansey thing spew out all that sludge and get it in Hydreigon's face? That's just disgraceful. Is he just spitting in Hydreigon's face? Come on, that's disrespectful. Don't do that. Yeah, we didn't KO with Superpower. We just barely missed the KO. It was a roll. Obviously I don't have my damage marker up. That was a cool Gen 7 thing. Maybe if I had something like that, maybe I could have predicted a little better around that, but it is what it is. We're going to go for a Big Fat Crunch, which is going to do absolutely nothing to Skarmory. In fact, we probably took more damage that turn than Skarmory did because of the Rocky Helmet and the toxic damage that comes right after. So we got to get out of there. The good news is Skarmory is not an offensive threat whatsoever, so we have several things that could switch in pretty darn safely. I mean, the worst thing it can do is set up rocks. I think Rotom is a pretty darn safe switch, so that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make it into my good pal Rotom. Buzz. By the way, my nicknames for this PCL season and for any Wi-Fi battles from it that I upload are above Disney characters. So we got Buzz Lightyear right here. I will make more reference to that next time we open the screen with all of the Mons. I'm going to go for that Fold Switch. Once again, the freest of my life. And remember, Chansey is at super low health, so it is not going to be taking that anytime soon. He's going to go into 4-man, which is a Rotom Heat. Okay, that's fine by me. We're still going to put in some pretty big damage. That's a good third, maybe 30%, 35%, somewhere around that. Not bad. So we got Jiminy Cricket. We've got Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. We've got Dumbo from, well, Dumbo. We got Marshmallow from Frozen, you know, the giant snow monster. And Mushu from Mulan. There we go. Mushu the dragon. You remember the red dragon? Or it's really like a lizard thing. I don't even know, to be honest. I haven't seen Mulan in a long time. We're gonna go into Mushu though. I don't know how. I wish this thing shiny could have been red. That would have been so cool. Imagine a red Hydreigon. That'd be awesome. So we're getting some good Hydreigon action here. We're at about half health, just under half. And we have some options and choices here. We're kind of not too worried. Hydreigon can start to go now that Chansey is pretty much nullified. I mean, that thing is at such low health that anything could take it out. It did its job. I just need to get some chip damage on this Rotom. Let's just get it done. I also know, in all likelihood, I can take one hit from it. And maybe not Overheat after Poison, but I don't know why he would go for Overheat. I figured he was probably going to just Volt Switch out. And we do live it pretty easily, and we should be able to live a Toxic, which means we have a chance to see what he goes into and maybe what move he goes for next. Maybe we'll be able to get a hit off on whatever he goes into next. We do have options and choices here. We're communicating. My opponent actually is going pretty quick in this game, generally speaking, and I do really appreciate that. I have done some games in the past in Sword and Shield where your opponent, on a 20-minute timer, takes 90 seconds to make their move, and look, I get it. I'm the timer guy, okay? I've made memes out of a timer before. But in a 20-minute timer, you can tell I don't think a ton in between my moves most of the time. This is going live. I mean, this is live footage. You can see how much I think about this stuff. I really try to make my moves, whether it be switching or making a pick, within like 20 to 25 seconds. Now I'm making a liar of myself because this turn apparently I took a little longer. But even still, it's still within 25 seconds. So I really do try to move a lot quicker with a 20-minute timer. And I'm sure with a chess timer, it would still be similar. I hate the 20-minute timer, though. I wish they could have gone back to 60. Or how about Gen 4? Gen 4 draft would be so cool, by the way. No timer. How about no team preview, Gen 4 draft format? I feel like someone needs to do that. Has anyone done that? Like, seriously, if someone could send me a link of draft format games from Gen 4. Obviously, this would be well after Gen 4 had been discontinued, but has there been a Gen 4 league in the last couple of years? I'd be really curious to see. So, we're going to go down. We got Chansey taken out, so Hydreigon really did its job, and it did a darn good job at it. We're going to have to pick what we go to next. So since we don't know what he's going to, it kind of makes this a little more challenging. I could go to my Gigantamax Lapras, but I'm thinking the safer option might be just going to Eeyore, aka my good pal Mudsdale. We're going to do that. Maybe try to set some rocks up. Maybe just... It's a good moveset here and good coverage against his team. Now he goes to Gengar, which is his Gigantamax, which, by the way, in the team preview, feel free to go back again if you want. The yellow bars for Gengar and for Lapras meant Gigantamax. Just to let you know, it's not Mega. There is not a Mega Lapras, although that would be super cool, I'm not going to lie. There's not a Mega Gengar in this game, although there definitely should be. They need to bring Megas back, man. That would be just so cool. We're going to get on out of there, though, because Energy Ball really is likely. And he might Gigantamax, too. So Gigantamax Grass move would definitely put the hurt on us. It's definitely tough. I also think that I'd considered putting on the Grass Resist Berry, what's it called? Rindo Berry. But I had that last week, the previous week for the PCL, and I put on Leftovers this week. So the safer move is to honestly just get out of there. Let's go into Bow, which can very easily take one of these attacks, a grass attack, which is what I expect. I also expect him to Gigantamax, but we'll see if that actually happens. He actually does not, and just goes for Energy Ball. So he does probably still have Thunderbolt, so it's not like we're out of the woods yet. But I know we could take a Shadow Ball, we could obviously take a Sludge Wave. Obvious. We're Steel type. So we still do have to worry about the Thunder Wave though, so I cannot stay in here. We can't have that happen. I would love to pop my weakness policy with Lapras, but I'm still thinking what would be the safest play, and that would be, yeah, it's tough. It's really a tough call. I'm debating between Rotom, Lapras, and maybe trying to mess with his emotions and go back into my good pal Mudsdale. Maybe I could force a switch. Maybe I can force him to pop the Gigantamax. He does switch, and that's what worked, so I was trying to see if I could bait the Thunderbolt at the end of the day and just pop the Gigantamax. Didn't exactly work, but it's okay. So Rotom is going to be going against Mudsdale. It's going to be a precarious situation. Now, on one hand, we do have some goodness in that he cannot Volt Switch. He can't get out of there. He can't use Thunderbolt, but we could still get Will-O-Wisp. He could use Overheat. Overheat may even KO, actually. If he's like a Life Orb or a Specs Rotom or something. I don't think he Specs, but if he... I think we actually found out he was Life Orb, actually. So, what am I talking about? But I think Life Orb has a chance to KO. And it definitely did with a crit. So, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure. I would have to calc that, actually. I think I knew the calc when this battle happened. But I've been doing a ton of calcs since then for other games. And it all kind of just blends together in my head. What I can say for sure is that Overheat would have done anywhere between 0 and 100% damage. I hope that's helpful, guys. Thank you. Okay, and we are now in a slightly better position because at least the Rotom went down due to Life Orb recoil. So we did lose Eeyore, but we also made our opponent lose a Rotom, which is not a bad thing. So it is, I think, 4-4 right now, so it really could go any way this game. I thought this was a terrific game, just a nice close one. No one wants to watch 6-0 blowouts or crazy stuff. Well, maybe once in a while something crazy would be fun, but we like the good games. This was a good one. I'm making a decision about what to go out to next, and I'm going to go for Lapras, because if I could try to get him to use a super effective move while I Gigantamax, that would be really good. Unfezant is here and in the building. We're going to try to set up our Gigantamax. against this thing. We do get a lot of rocks damage. That's really annoying. We're going to get our Aurora Veil up. We really want that. We got it. It's a big, big thing to do. We're going to set this big thing up. I just love how it takes a giant dive ball and just throws it at Lapras's back, and it unleashes this. Oh my goodness, that is just so cool. I love the concept of Dynamax and Gigantamax. I think it's so cool. It's kind of broken, but it is cool. They really should have combined it with Mega Evolutions, though. Would have been really nice. Opponent goes for a U-turn, because he knows this is a pretty darn precarious situation for him. We're going to go for the Max Resonance move as soon as something comes in here. We'll see. I think it was an Ice Shard Max Resonance, so it is not going to be super powerful. I believe we carried Ice Shard because we didn't really need the ice coverage, but we wanted something to set up the Aurora Veil. Yeah, G-Max Resonance. It's physical. We opted for a more physical Lapras with Thunder this week. So that certainly did some damage. Not the worst thing in the world, and something I kind of overlooked in prep. In hindsight, I should have made Lapras outspeed Skarmory, because he has Roost, and he can outstall my Aurora Veil and my Gigantamax with Roost. So I should have invested a little more in speed. Something to learn from, that's for sure. It's alright, life's a learning experience. It's okay to learn from stuff like this. It is okay. I'm gonna go for that big Max Lightning, summon Zeus's Thunder from the sky, and unleash it upon that Skarmory. It's gonna not do nearly as much as I would have liked because the flying type is gone due to Roost. Unfortunate. We do have an electric terrain though, which is definitely gonna help us out a little bit. We'll see what happens if he wants to stay in, if he wants to try to defog, if he wants to Roost again. He's got options and choices. He's gonna opt for that big Roost to get the, get health back. I mean, just in general. Obviously, good idea. So I'm going to go for the Max Geyser to just get the rain up, so that way I can go for more powerful liquidations. I just realized it's going to be better to just get the rain up compared to using Thunder. So we've got an Aurora Veil, Rain, and Electric Terrain, and a Gigantamax, although the Gigantamax... Bleh, try saying that 12 times fast. We just got the Gigantamax gone, but can you imagine all those big things on the screen at once? Now make it a triple battle with all that stuff. Could you imagine? The game would probably crash. Let's be real. So, we're going to go for a liquidation in the rain, hoping for some defense drops. Skarmory is very physically bulky, so we definitely are in some trouble there. I noticed I went first, so that must have meant he went for Whirlwind. Not the worst thing in the world for me, to be honest, except for the fact that we get sent into Swoobat, which is not great. He probably can't touch us very much, which means we actually would be able to try to set up a nasty plot. That's a good thing, but... It's tough to say because I don't know that it's a good idea to set up yet, but I'm probably just gonna do it because he can't KO us, and if he Whirlwinds us, it's basically the same as us switching at this point anyway. I'll try to set it up, and at that health, if we can get a stored power off, that would be good. I would be okay with that, but he does Whirlwind, so no harm, no foul, except for more health lost due to rocks. Otherwise, we got Buzz out, which actually is the absolute best thing I could have asked for in the whole world. Aurora Veil's unfortunately gone, but that's okay. We're going to go for that big bad Volt Switch. Volt Switch is here to wreck anything in its path, and this game is definitely starting to wind down. I think we're in the final 5 minutes or so. I wish there was an active timer so I could tell you specifically, but I'm just looking at the ticker on the video. And that's about what we've got here. So, probably not going to get a complete game. We're probably not going to get something like that. So we got to start thinking about our end-game strategy here. So Skarmory does go down. Volt Switch, big Volt Switch, does really well right there. Takes it out. So we still got a few things left, and we got options and choices though. We still got Lapras, which frankly is probably the most expendable at this point. It didn't really do a ton, but for what it did its thing. So we can send it out, see what he goes into, and go from there. Maybe we could get an Ice Shard off, depending on what he goes into. If he goes into Unpheasant, we'll probably knock out half its health with Ice Shard, and that's a really good thing, especially since we're coming close to timer here. It could be a timer tie, so that's very important. We're going to go for the Ice Shard, knock out as much health as we can. Let's see how much that does. As expected, right around half, so that's fantastic. He's going to go for the Brave Bird, which is going to just chip his health even further. It's going to take him into yellow. 2 minutes left. There it is. There it is. They really should have a timer the whole time, man. I don't know why they don't. But anyway, he's in yellow. We gotta keep our health high, maybe try to get one more KO. If we could get one more KO, I would feel very good about this game, and I think we have it in the bag. Gonna go to Dumbo, because Dumbo is a flying elephant. We could do some Roost, we could Brave Bird to probably KO this thing, or anything on Switch. We have some very good options here. This is looking good. Dumbo can clinch this game. He still has a Hitmonlee in the back. So we just got to make sure he doesn't get a high jump kick off somehow and KO one of my mods. As long as that doesn't happen, we are good to go. I also think from that health, Brave Bird will KO him. We're talking about an Unpheasant here. So I'm just going to go for a Roost first, just in case there's any crazy shenanigans going on and he tries to Hypnosis and misses, but is trying to put me to sleep or prevent me from getting health or some crazy stuff goes on. It's probably the safer play. My next move will definitely be Brave Bird. I am not trying to protect stall. That would be just terrible. So he Brave Birds, which doesn't do very much at all. He just loses a little more health. I'm not trying to Roost stall here. Next move, I am going to go for the big, bad Brave Bird. Brave Bird everything, right? So we've been seeing a bunch of Brave Birds because we've got two very Brave Birds on our screen. We've got an Unpheasant and we've got a Corvignite, aka Dumbo. It literally does look like Dumbo! It's got the big beak, and Dumbo doesn't have a beak, but if you pretended its trunk was a beak, I mean, that would be great. So, Hitmonlee comes in, and we are going to snag a KO with Brave Bird. I don't know if he predicted that. I don't know if he thought I was just trying to Roost stall. I don't know. But since this was a physically defensive Corvignite, even if he got Hitmonlee in and went for a reckless boosted high jump kick, we still would have lived. And we would have, from full health, because we were at full health from the Roost, we would have been good. And we're going to win this battle 3-2. Another timer game because they happen every other game in Gen 8, unfortunately. Unless, of course, you can figure out the chess timer, which that is something I'll have to do another day. And I just click a move just because the game's over anyway. We defeated our good pal, Daley26. I swear to God, if it's Daley, I'm going to be upset. No, it was a really fun game, though. I wish we could have played it out till the very, very end, although I think I had the upper hand generally. Like, I think I probably would have pulled it out, but you never know. I don't know what his sets were. Maybe I make a bad prediction. Who knows? But anyway, it was a great game, and hope you all enjoyed this upload. It was a nice long one. Decided to just chill here today and have some fun with you guys. So, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Peace.